Hello, thinkers and builders. Have you ever heard of the ultimate career success blueprint, specifically designed for African professionals? Yeah, I was as curious as you when I first came across Dr. Catherine Kahabuka promoting her book on LinkedIn. I invited her to the podcast. She responded promptly. Dr. Catherine Kahabuka is a medical doctor by profession. She's also the founder of Cremes International, whereby she has dedicated her life into helping individuals and professional organizations unlock their full potential through coaching, consulting, and designing frameworks. And From Muscle to Brain is her first framework to be published. We will deep dive into this framework. Make sure that you stay tuned because somewhere in this conversation, I will share good news and you don't want to miss this opportunity. Karibu, Dr. Catherine. Before we get to the book, yes, can you please tell us about Dr. Catherine? Who is Dr. Catherine?
Dr. Catherine, before the book, let me start by saying she's someone who came from a very humble beginning, and that is the reason why perhaps I came up with that book. Mm-hmm. So since when I was growing up, my biggest ambition was to help, starting with my own family, because we didn't have that much. My dad died when I was about to go to high school, and I got help from neighbors and then relatives to complete my high school. So from when I went to college, I only had one goal, make money, help my siblings, take care of my mom, who made sure that I went to high school. It's a story that I go into details in my book. I became a doctor. But then while working as a doctor, I realized that I was only, the muscle concept that we'll go into later. I was helping individuals, a few people that I was able to take care of in a day. Then my biggest question has always been, how can I help more people with what I have, what I know? And so then Dr. Catherine found herself starting a company to expand impact, training other people. I became a trainer of others, building capacity, still trying to multiply the impact. But in the process, the income was also, of course, part of the equation because it was very important as well. As someone who is dependable, I have a lot of dependents, so also the income was always part of the question. So I have been working so hard to make sure I make more money, but also impact more people. But I'm also a mother of two. I have two beautiful daughters, 18 and 8, 10 years apart. They are my best friends. I used to be a sports person as well.
Wow.
Yes, I used to participate in swimming when I was in college, Muhimbili. I even went for World University Games in 2003 in South Korea.
Interesting.
For swimming. In East Africa, I had a few medals. Among university, among women.
Wow.
So that's what made me go there. So I've been a sports, active person for most of my lifetime, really.
I started working at the age of 19, and I started off as a volunteer. I've never had a career coach throughout my career. I've had mentors here and there. So professionally, I think I needed this book when I was 19 years old, when I was just stepping into the professional setup.
Yes.
So I never had a roadmap. And this framework you have presented in this book, I find it even useful now, more than 15 years later. It is very useful and very powerful, where you have explained the 5 levels of muscle to brain framework. Why?
Why, of course, is to offer the guidance. And I'm really happy that you mentioned that the framework would be helpful to you even when you was 19 years old. I feel the same way. That framework would be very helpful for me when I was doing my bachelor's degree. And that's why I want to also make sure it reaches students in colleges as well. To answer your question, why, perhaps that could be easily answered by how I came up with it. So let me go back to my story. So as I have been working towards impacting more people and making more money, or helping more people and making more money every time, I've been asking myself, how can I help more people? How can I make more money? I kept on going through those different levels. So for me, there were no levels. I didn't know them. When I reflected on my career, I just came across those 5 distinct levels, actually. I was employed once in my life as well. That's where I started after my bachelor's degree. So that's where I started, and that's where most of the people start, the majority. Yes. And that's what we have been taught in college, that you go to school, you study hard, and then you get a job, full-time employment, and that's level 1. But as I was employed, then I realized that it wasn't for me. I wasn't making the impact I wanted. I wasn't making enough money as I wanted. So then I found myself at level 2, freelancing. So instead of working for just one employer and depending on one, monthly salary, I started serving different clients using my skills. And then, of course, I started making more money. I was being paid by different clients. I was handling more projects. I call it in the book freelancing or independent consulting.
Yes.
But I was still alone. But then as I was working and doing a good job, I realized that I couldn't manage on my own. And I found myself registering a company, a firm, a research firm, to expand what I was doing, expand the services, but also expand the impact as well. So then I found myself at level 3. But again, I was reflecting retrospectively backwards. Yeah. At that time, I didn't know what I was doing. So a lot of lessons, as of course, then as I was working at level 3, which is a firm, how did I find out about level 4? Again, through my ambitions and wanting to make more money, impact more people, I started reading books. And then I came across something called 4 Levels of Value. I think I mentioned that somewhere in the book.
Yes.
By Myron Golden. He's a career coach. So as I was reading one of his books and attending online courses where he was also speaking, he talked about the 4 levels of value. And I must say that is something that triggered me to think more about my career and come up with the 5 levels of career advancement and wealth. Because he then talked about how I could use my expertise beyond running a company or, and the 2 things he mentioned, which are using your expertise in things like courses, teaching, not necessarily delivering the work, but then sharing your expertise for a fee. So that's when my eyes were opened to the fact that there actually could be people who would pay me to teach them what I already know.
Yeah.
So then masterclasses came along, and I call that level communication and influence.
Yes, and influence, yeah.
Level 4. So you communicate, you earn through communication, through different avenues. Could be books, like the one you are holding right now. I believe you paid to have it.
Yes, I paid.
Which is also on Amazon. Now I'm making money while sleeping. Even today, a couple of people bought, and I was like, is this really happening? Because it's my first book.
Yeah, it's a first book.
Oh, yes, it is. So I have people in the UK, US buying the book. Yes, and I'm developing online courses right now. It has been really a very steep learning process. I've been teaching mostly physically and online, but live. So then it needed me to be there. The concept...
You're using your muscles.
Yes, the concept of not to trade hours. So this is something that I've challenged myself to do right now, and I'm still advancing. And level 5, the only difference between level 4 and 5 is the fact that at level 5 you create original work. So instead of sharing, communicating what other people produced or discovered, you come up with something original.
Your own
A
work.
good example is from muscle to brain framework. And these are things that really, they don't need to be like rocket science. Just organizing something in something that other people can easily learn, just like what I did. So then when you do that, it lifts you up. When you come up with something original, and if it can be accepted, then career-wise, it lifts you up in terms of credibility. So even when you offer courses, you write books, you can sell them at a higher price because now you become an authority. You go beyond an expert, but there are too many experts. So level 5 takes you from being an expert, separates you from experts, you become an authority in a certain field. So to summarize, I came up with the levels through deep reflection about my career, but also informed by what I already knew from the books. I've also learned a lot from other consultants and professionals, and the clients as well. Because level 3 is running an organization. So I've learned a lot also through some of the work I've been doing for organizations, especially strategic planning.
I have related so much with Grace in level 1, the one who was employed and she had done all she could. She had now reached the ceiling. She didn't know where to go, how to excel from there. And it can be very, very frustrating. Anyone who is at level 1, employed, right now, listening to you, what is your advice to them?
When you're employed, most of the decisions are handled by your employer. So my biggest advice, I would say, is for employed people is to make sure that they take charge of their career advancement. Because if they leave it in the hands of their employer, it will never happen. And that's why most people who are employed, I use this word in my webinars, they are stuck.
I've been there.
They are stuck.
And that's the right word, yeah.
They are stuck. Many of them hold great potential.
What do you mean by great potential?
They are very good at what they do within their job descriptions. And they could even, be very good when they go to present their employer's work, strong presentation skills. Many of them could also have invested a lot in developing all these other skills, leadership skills, communication skills. So there are some who are really good at what they do, but they don't spend those skills outside their employer, and that's the problem.
How do you balance that time and your employer's time to start doing something outside?
To progress, you must make time. There are several things I teach also in my master classes and courses. Things like high productivity. I do have some high productivity hacks.
Okay.
I also teach 5 I use. And those are some of the things that you can use while you are employed to maximize on the time. You get things done quickly.
What are those 5 productivity hacks?
These are very normal things. It could be things like planning your work before doing it. I go into details in my masterclass because these are things that affected me as well. Okay. You do something until the end, only to find out you didn't do it right. Just because you didn't take time to create a roadmap on how you're going to approach the assignment. And even have a skeleton, it helps a lot. It's just like writing that book without having the chapters in sections.
Yes.
Another good example that happened to me as a consultant, it can happen to you when you're employed. Writing the whole report for an activity without having an outline that you share with your supervisor first to get feedback and make sure that the report will be within the same lines. You'll meet expectations. So there have been scenarios where I had to rewrite the report because it did not meet expectations. I didn't plan. I did not involve the supervisor or the client to ask what is expected, which is part of planning. But another high productivity hack is things like keeping your phone away. Very simple. You have your phone here by your side when you're working. You will check it.
And that wastes your time.
It does. Removing the notifications. So I advise to keep your phone away, but also there are things like using a stopwatch when you're working on something. And these are things that I've used because the same task can take 4 hours. That could take half an hour to accomplish because of procrastination, constant perfectionism. So there are a couple of things that tend to take more time. And after practicing some of the things, as someone who wanted to achieve a lot in a day, I kept on trying things to see whether I could double my productivity or triple it. And I realized that actually it's possible. So these are things that someone who is employed can learn.
To maximize their time.
Yes, so that they can have time to create, I call them intellectual assets, because as you understood, someone who is employed, if you read the book, they have several options. You can leave your employment, go work as a freelancer at level 2, or start a company at level 3. But you can also succeed without having to leave your employment by creating time, which is what I was just describing, to design intellectual assets, as I call them. It could be a book. It could be a framework in the area you have been operating to guide others to produce the same things that you have been doing. You can run webinars in the evening to share nuggets in your industry. Or time to even share things on social media platforms and build credibility in your area. So there are a lot of things that you can do, but you need to have time.
What keeps people stuck there? You say start a course, start a training, teach people, but when you're employed, I remember I was told when I was just in my 4th year of employment, a friend of mine told me, but you know, Mary, you can start sharing nuggets or information about communication. I think a lot of people would like to learn from you. And I was like, no, I don't think I'm good. I don't think I can share. I'm also doing certain mistakes at work. I'm not perfect. I don't think I'm the right person to share. What if I make mistakes while training others, while sharing what I'm doing? What is your say about that? One might say, I'm just new in my career, 2 years, 3 years in, because we want to be perfect, or because we are camera shy.
That's a huge problem. It's one of the biggest barriers, actually, among not only employed people, even people like me who have been operating as independent consultants. We want to be perfect before doing something. However, it works the other way around. You become perfect by doing. So I'll give an example of myself because I like using myself as an example. I have been avoiding, for example, producing videos for a while because I want to look perfect on camera, how I speak. I want to look like, presenters, but it will never happen if you don't start. It will never happen. It will never happen. And in fact, something that people don't know, when you are imperfect, people like you more because you represent the majority. People can relate with you. What matters is, I usually tell people, you just want to be 1 or 2 steps ahead of others for you to guide someone. There will always be someone that will benefit from what you're talking about, because all the time you are 2 or 3 steps ahead of other people, and that is okay. By doing, that is when you also become better. And when you start doing, you start learning. The learning is massive. the learning is massive in the process because you want to improve. But if you wait to be good
learn.
before you start, many people never start because of that.
I have just completed university.
Yeah.
I got my first job. It is my dream job. Why should I start thinking of all these other levels? Now I'm asking for someone who has just landed into their dream job.
When we start a new job, all of us, especially if it's our first job, usually we are very excited. So you're right. You may not think about that at all, about, writing a book or creating a course. However, having the roadmap, knowing what is possible beyond your job description is very important. No matter how good the job is, trust me, as human beings, we want to advance, we want to become better, we want to do better, we want more. That's how we are created. It's going to reach a time, it doesn't matter how good your job is. It won't be as enjoyable as it used to be.
I agree with you on that.
If you know the roadmap and the other options available, at least you will start doing something about that even before you reach that stage. And when you do, you have a backup plan. Because, as I said, it's not about leaving a job. What I talk about is, and what I really call the movement from muscle to brain, is for professionals not to only use their skills only within the job description. Because you want to impact more people. If you don't want money, then at least leverage on what you know, your expertise, to expand your impact beyond your employer. And that comes with teaching, level 4, creating courses, writing books, conducting webinars, being innovative to leverage your experience, the things that you innovate in real time. We innovate new things through what we do, through the experience. You may come up with a new methodology. So being able to document it systematically, give it a name, teach it, write a book about it. So that's what I'm talking about. You don't need to leave your employment for you to do those things. Actually, they add value. You become a thought leader, an authority within the government, within the institution, be it a university, a research institution. It makes a huge difference. But then it will also lift you up in terms of your influence, your income. Not only impact. So
as you well explained in the book, when you're working for your employer, you're just an ingredient, and people will always praise the chef, not the ingredient. So I think when you start maximizing your impact now, people start noticing you, and now you are known not only for your title, but also for the impact you bring.
I like the example you've used. Very well said. That is one of the other biggest advantages of doing more than just your job description. Because if you do your job description, you're only fitting within the organization and job description. But if you do more, then you create the name beyond your job description. As
you call it, this framework is a movement. And I see moving from level 1 to level 2. One has to go on high intensity of using muscles. Can you tell us about level 2?
The difference between level 1 and 2 is very simple. Level 1, you're working for one person full time. Level 2, you're working with multiple people, clients, or let me say working for multiple clients. So yes, in terms of muscle, obviously, you'll work more. You can imagine if you have many clients, and each client has their own demands and requests. But what is interesting, or the advantage of level 2, is now, instead of being recognized as someone who works somewhere, your results start speaking for you, you become an expert. It's very hard to lift your name as an expert within an organization. You can, but it's usually very hard. So yeah, level 2, you become an expert. You're selling your skills, your expertise in a more different way. When you are employed, sometimes you are not in control of how to use your expertise.
Oh, yes.
I have met people who studied something else, and even when they were employed, they were told they're going to do something else. But once they are there, they're doing different things. It depends on, what is needed at that time. You may find yourself doing things completely different from what you studied and from what you were even informed or told you were coming to do. So you lose that control, and then you can lose your expertise as well. If you don't use a muscle, and I think I mentioned that, it disappears. But level 2 allows you to make those choices and do what you want, choose projects in your own terms. Yes.
Some people might give up and be like, why shouldn't I just look for a job and going back to level 1? What are the things that will make them successful that you would like to tell them, like keep on being resilient, keep on pushing, believe in your dream?
So from my experience, the biggest reason that makes people go back to level 1 from level 2 is lack of clients.
Okay.
Not many clients.
Not many clients.
No.
Okay, that's interesting.
Lack of clients. When you have many clients, it's interesting. It's more money. Who
But
doesn't
you're one
want
person.
more money? Who doesn't know? You open a firm. You register. Most people would go to open a company or delegate. And then when they delegate without systems, level 3, then they end up, doing poor job. And then they lose clients. And then they have to go to level 1. You may start consulting, get a client, 1 or 2, but then something else that people don't know at level 2 is being able to brand yourself, market yourself. So we wait for the assignments to follow us at level 2, which is unfortunately not the case. So being able to network and make people know that you're available to consult, but also, visibility overall. What I've seen from the people I coach and mentor is that they would apply for jobs blindly. You see an advert, a request for proposal on, certain website or from a newspaper, you apply. It is very rarely that you will succeed that way.
Why?
Because very few clients hire professionals without references. Yes.
So positioning oneself is one key thing.
Very important.
Staying aligned with the industry, networking with those people. Make yourself visible.
Yes. Most of the time, by the time the job is being advertised, there are people who have been shortlisted already. So as a consultant at level 2, you want to be part of those people who are shortlisted or who are reached out before the assignment has been advertised.
Would you mind sharing tips? How do you make sure that you position yourself to be visible before they are advertised?
It is not a one approach, really. It's not one approach or a one-size-fits-all scenarios. I'll just share one. Volunteering.
Okay.
Yes. That is how I also accessed my first consulting assignment. I gave the story in the book as well.
Yes.
So I volunteered where consulting assignments were already happening. And then you become proactive. You make sure you do well, but don't think about money first.
Yes.
And it's easier when you volunteer. It's easier to volunteer where people will trust you to give you the assignment to do. Because I have heard consultants who have been in scenarios where they volunteered, but where they were volunteering, they were not trusted enough to be given that role of participating in a level where they could earn that trust and credibility and make the profile they're looking for, the reference. You know? So I would advise, you go to volunteer to a place where, like what I did, I asked my supervisor for my PhD to link me to a center director of the National Institute for Medical Research at Muhimbili. My supervisor knew me from my performance. So then the center director trusted me. But first off course, I volunteered in normal tasks like going to the field, collecting data, before I was given a task that was high level to prove my expertise. So that's why I said it's really not the same scenario, but at least there are tips that I think I can share, which I'm already sharing.
But one of the biggest challenges I experienced as a consultant who was also employed, now I'm going to level 1 and 2, was people wanted me to be there physically. Like, we want you. So you cannot even delegate to someone else.
Yes.
And also costing. Each time I was so scared to put a price tag on my service, because I'm like, what if they take someone else? I look at myself, I'm like, I'm very young. I believe someone out there might have the same experience. As we go to level 3, I would like us to touch on the time thing. Like, if you're a consultant and you have limited time, should that be a driver to take you to level 3, or the other things that you should consider? And when people want you in person, should that be the driver to take you to level 3 or to go back to level 1?
You just reminded me of a message I just sent today to a potential assignment because of the same concept you just mentioned. And that's the beauty of that framework. When you know the barriers that are working against you, things that are hindering you to advance your career and reach your full potential, you make informed decisions. Things that I never used to do in the past. And that's why I said when I started writing this book, for me, I have seen the progress I've not seen before in my own career. And even getting the time to write that book that I would have done many years ago if I knew the framework. Yes. So today, let me go back to my message. I replied to a potential collaboration. They wanted me as Catherine. And this is someone from the US. They wanted me to join the team and bid for a potential project. And I was recommended by someone. They reached out to me. And initially, I thought it was they wanted to engage a firm, my organization. But then later, after I have even been invited in a group, a consortium, WhatsApp group. And then I realized they wanted me as Catherine. And I wrote a message. And I told them, at the moment, my focus is on strategic leadership for the organization. If they want to engage a firm, I would be more than happy to recommend someone in my firm who would fit what they want. But it won't be me. I never used to do that in the past. And the moment I signed those assignments, I was supposed to be there physically. And the moment I'm there, it's muscles. I won't have time to write a book. I won't have time to create a framework. I won't have time to even think about my career, like what I did, and put it on paper or anything for that matter. So that's what changed for me a lot. And to answer your question, I went to level 3, and that's what many people do because I had a lot of assignments. There were a lot of clients still reaching out. For me, because I was doing a good job, which many consultants do, and then as you have more clients coming in, you decide to register a firm or a company so that you can serve them. But you know what happens after? You keep doing most of the things yourself.
Oh, yes.
So that's what have been happening to me for a long time. I was not comfortable or confident to delegate things that mattered most to me, things like report writing or proposals. Or why? Because I had not invested in training or developing a system and a process that will allow me to delegate confidently. So you have a team. There were times when, and I think I wrote that, you have a team member, maybe two, who are sitting, they don't have much to do.
Yeah.
And you are buried yourself in a lot and you are still paying them salary. Yes, they don't have much to do. You only ask them to do very little things.
Yeah, because this is your comfort zone, and it's the
Yes.
muscles you've been building for a while now.
Yeah.
How do you start getting out of that?
Yeah. So it took me time to develop the process and systems, training materials, and invest a lot in capacity building before I was confident enough to delegate, but also being able to identify other people, senior experts that I can trust. But for me, because of the worry, I made sure that I created a consulting mentorship program. So the people I started delegating at my level, one of them is the person I was talking with right now. He is a PhD. And now he's leading a project under Cremes International as an M&E expert. But this guy attended my masterclasses. So I trust him.
Yes.
And he's reliable, highly professional, highly skilled. You want to be sure of that before you delegate. And once you have a system and people you can trust, that's when you enjoy level 3. Like I do now. In the near future, I will be able to maybe go on holiday for 1 month and my clients will keep on receiving the same services. And that's what many of us don't manage to do. Until old age, you are still in your company, you are still the system.
You're still the system.
And I'll give you a very simple example. One of the key questions I asked myself, why our companies that start in Africa, most of them, including in Tanzania, they don't scale. It will just be in Tanzania. However, we have a lot of companies in our African countries that are based in the US and Europe.
They have scaled.
They have scaled. Why are we not able to scale? And that's when I realized that there are a lot of things that we don't do right. And we need to be there.
I always like to ask, in any conversation I have, even in my personal life, when someone talks about system, I always like them to expound more. What exactly do they mean by system?
The system is all about being able to delegate and have things getting done in the same quality that you would have done it, if you were alone. If I was alone and producing high quality work, or if I take KFC as an example, this guy once was taught this recipe by, whoever, and they were cooking at home. But it was just him. But then he managed to create a system to delegate whatever he was doing to other people, but making sure that they produce the same chicken.
They produce, with the same taste. If anyone comes,
even Pizza Hut, yes, it's the same thing. It's McDonald's.
So that the system comes from the whole strategy, plan, values, and the protocols that you have, the procedures.
So there are 5 things. And culture, of course. There are 5 things. The first is you need to, of course, you start by identifying people that you can delegate to. Very important. Committed people.
Committed people.
Yes, and who can be trainable. And then you create training materials. This means, taking everything you had in your head, the how to do something, and put it on paper for someone else to read and follow. You train people using those materials. But also that is part of creating a standard, what I call a standard operating procedures. It's like a step-by-step guidance to someone, to guide someone to produce the same thing. When it comes to KFC and McDonald's, this would be something like a recipe.
Yes.
Tells exactly how to make this dish from point A to Z. But it doesn't end there. What I do, because that is the SOP, you use it as for training and as a reference point, but you want to have templates. So the template
is number 3.
Yes, this simplifies the work. It's like a skeleton. So people don't start from scratch, but it also helps everyone to produce the same thing. If it's a report, it will be organized the same way.
Yeah.
That's why Pizza Hut and KFC, they bring the materials. They don't let you produce your own. Yeah. They bring things.
The ingredients. Yes, the ingredients.
Yes. So those are things like templates, because if everyone produces the ingredients, someone else will put more of this, less of that. Yes. So you standardize the system that way. But then also you do have a checklist.
That's number 4.
Extremely important. So because not all the time someone is going to be reading the detailed SOP, standard operating procedures. You want something simple that will tell them, okay, this is done. This is done, like very simple. And I learned that from airlines. They use checklist a lot to avoid accidents. And then you have an example of the final deliverable.
This is how the final product is going to look like.
It's supposed to look like, And finally, you need to have a process, checking in process.
Okay, I thought that was the whole process. What is that?
The check-in process. You can delegate, train someone, give them the templates and checklists and examples, and nothing is happening.
So this is like quality control now?
Not necessarily. Check-in is making sure that something is being done. This could be every Monday. Maybe you have I might give an example at my office. We do have a check-in process. I will know there's somewhere where when I go, I will see what's happening under each team member.
Okay.
Yes, a Google sheet where someone is reporting what they're doing, the timelines.
I think I get it now.
Yes. Yeah. And then you have check-in meetings maybe every Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a check-in process to make sure that everything is going well. Not that at the end you get a chicken that is burnt and you didn't go to check whether it's being cooked well.
Why is it that not so many people go to level 3?
I think one of the biggest hurdle is not knowing how to go there. There is very little guidance on how, for example, establish a firm, a company, registration, the taxes, the initial things that someone needs to do before registering a company. And this is why I advise people to use consultants. Many people want to do things themselves.
By themselves, yes.
Yeah, they don't want to spend money to pay someone else to do it. So that's something I think I learned very early on. Things that I could delegate was like that. If I don't know something, and this is something that has a low risk, registering a company is not the same as delegating the work of my client.
Oh, the work of your client. It's definitely something you have never done. You don't have a muscle for it. Someone knows it better. Yeah. It becomes actually cheaper because imagine all the money you would have used on logistics, all the time and all that. One of my biggest fear was like, how am I going to manage the financials? Because I don't like that part at all. So it was stressing me out. Yeah. So I was like, I have put this project aside and everything because each time I was like, this is going to be so big. Like, okay, what if money starts flowing in? How do I manage everything? How do I do this? What if I have an oversight on these details?
Yeah. That's another example of an area that you can use external help. They don't need to stay there every day. They can come once a week to manage your finances, but you can document on a daily basis. I started managing my own finances.
Yeah, I like this line. Success at this stage requires confidence in charging, comfort in negotiating, and above all, discipline in financial literacy. Can you please tell us your personal story that made you say this statement?
We are still at level 3. Yes. When it comes to charging, negotiating for price, the price. It's an area that I struggled a lot too. Sometimes you were afraid to charge because you felt like there could be someone who might be able to offer the same services with a low pay. And most clients will opt for someone who, especially in African setting.
Oh, yes.
Who charges less.
Yes.
Yes. So for me, where that statement came in is because I struggled first. I wasn't confident. I became confident after developing a credibility, a brand. So firstly, when you're starting, you cannot focus on charging. You have to focus on developing a strong brand in your area as the go-to person for whatever results you are helping producing. So at that time, you may take in projects just to prove a point that you are the person.
I can do this.
Yeah, you're the one. So after you have developed a strong brand in your area, then your negotiation power goes up. Because then people want you. They want to work with you. It reached a time I felt I was almost there where I could negotiate without people feeling that they can just replace me. But then it involves a lot of learning about the market, how other people are charging. So something else that opened my eyes was speaking with other consultants, knowing how, what is possible out there. Because if you don't ask and learn how other people are charging, you won't have that confidence as well. So all these things come into play at level 3. If you're not careful, you might be just offering services as an NGO or something, while as a company, you don't charge overhead. So you have to make profit.
Yes.
And you have to make sure that the profits also can carry you during the times when there are no many jobs. Without having to lose your staff that you invested time training. So the financial literacy is about balancing, being able to balancing budgeting, pricing for the team as well, how to handle taxes and all that.
At Thinkers and Builders, we are always looking for ways on how to make sure that this podcast is impactful. So when I contacted Dr. Catherine to come to this podcast, one of the requests I made to her was for her to give a discount to our viewers who are going to watch this podcast. And guess what? She has been kind enough to grant our request, and she has given 25% discount for only 20 hard copies that will be sold by 30th of November 2025. And the code is Jenga Muscle to Brain 123. It is as simple as that. So contact them through +255 744 293 225 or email them through info@cremesinternational.com. Don't forget to write the code Jenga Muscle to Brain 123. Only 20 copies are available. This book also has a Kindle version that is not part of this discount. But remember, delivery costs will be on you, and first come, first served. So the very first people to order the 20 copies will get these copies at 25% discount. Before we go to level 4 and 5 of this framework, I would like to read this line. I find it to be very powerful. Leadership is not about being flawless. It's about being intentional and learning continuously.
Yeah, why I included that is because of my experience, but I believe experience of many people. We find ourselves into leadership positions, but you have not received any leadership training. So obviously you'll make a lot of mistakes in the process of leading others because no one ever taught you leadership skills. And leadership is also a wide topic, There are so many elements about leadership. So being able to learn things that matters to you in your leadership process, And leadership is different. And that's why we have so many types of leaders. There's so many ways of leading.
There's so many ways of leading.
Yes.
The good, the bad, the in-betweens.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
yes. So being able to learn what works within your environment, what kind of leadership skills matters most to you, and intentionally acquiring them is what I did. I'm
now
very
to
happy.
level 4 and 5.
Yes.
They sound pretty much similar. I would be doing communication and influence and somewhat maybe assume I'm already a thought leader.
It's very true.
Yeah.
I've actually heard of that before. It sounds familiar. When you communicate, you claim to become a thought leader. But in reality, thought leaders, it's someone who is well known in a certain subject and whose views in that subject make a big difference or matters. And one of the very best ways to become a thought leader, if not only, is to come up with original views, original concepts, original methodology in your industry. If you communicate things that people have been communicating throughout, you can't be a thought leader. Thought leader means you are bringing something original that other people can adapt
to
in
that
your
particular
industry.
school of thought.
Yes.
Okay, I was taking it thought leader as opinion leader, as someone who can influence policies, and I was assuming a communicator and influencer can also influence policies, regulations, and all that. But when I read your book, you spoke about frameworks, original work, and thank you for giving that clarification.
That is an influencer.
That is an influencer.
Yes, it's different.
I
from
think
a
so many
thought
people
leader.
out there think that they're thought leaders while they're
no.
influencing.
Advocate, influencer, they use the information already available and they package it in a way that they can influence policy. It doesn't mean they're thought leaders, no.
I'll take you back to communications and influence. What is required for someone to... Someone who has a company, now they want to do communications and influence. They want to become influential people in their society, community, and field of work.
We communicate from when we wake up in the morning until when we sleep. We all communicate. The second part is the most important part.
Influence.
Influence. Most of us, we are able to communicate, but we hardly influence. So when you are communicating, the goal has to be to influence, to make people believe in what you're saying, your ideas. Just influence whatever action you want to, or emotions. It could be just feelings, but you have to influence. And that's where many people struggle, including myself. It's not an easy part. Even on social media platforms, we see posts every day. Some of them no one likes, and others you find 1,000 people. Or thousands of people liking, resharing, and you ask yourself, what's happening here? Why no one is liking my content? But the only difference is the other person managed to influence people to like. Engage with post. That is something they included in that script. So as a communicator, that's what you need to achieve. So there are things that they influence more action than others. For example, many people, when they communicate, they teach, but I can learn about whatever on Google. Google, and can search on Google, it's a certain concept. I can read it in a book. But if I tell you my story about how I was influenced, or my experience of whatever I'm trying to teach you, then that's when I influence you. And you might like my post better. If I don't teach you, but rather I tell you, maybe through leadership. I give you my story of how I lead and, the challenges I have faced and the 3 things I've learned in the process. It's better than somebody who comes, these are the 3 core things.
Yes.
So it's communication alone is not enough. You have to learn how to communicate and influence people. That's when they're going to buy your books, attend your courses, or take whatever action that you want them to take.
Fear of being seen at level 4. At levels 4, success depends on others knowing, trusting, and engaging with your expertise.
Yeah.
We spoke about visibility earlier, and I thought it's very important to highlight this. It's one of the key things that you said, that these are either barriers. They can either become barriers or help you to succeed. If you want to succeed at this level, you must be seen. You must engage.
Yeah.
Speaking from my own experience now, I worked in amazing projects, but I never used to share what I was doing. So people out there never used to know what I was doing, other than those who were just in my circle. And now I'm out here running a company. Only those who are in my circle, they know the work I was doing, and they can give me references and talk about my work. And I have seen this among many women. I believe in men as well. Why am I saying women? Because I'm in this rich auntie community. I'm not a rich auntie, but I'm in this rich auntie community where we have started like a 100 days visibility challenge where everyone must post what they do, a significant work they do every single day. If you don't post, you are disqualified.
Wow.
Yes.
I like that.
So everyone is being busy, and on day 1, testimonies started coming in. On day 2, some people are seeing massive impact and sharing their journey. How has this changed you? Because you have been very serious about visibility.
For us who are starting late on this, I started very late. 5 years ago, nobody knew about me. I've been working as a consultant for more than 12 years. And I was doing a great job. All I was getting were just email feedback from clients, saying thank you for a good job. And no one else outside that second knew what I was doing. And unfortunately, most of the clients I was serving were based in the global north, US, Europe. So in Tanzania, Catherine, many people didn't know me. Now they know me more than I know them. It scares me. It scares me a little because everywhere I go, people like, Dr. Catherine, I'm like, But yes, until when we were even launching our first mentorship program, that's bad. That's how bad we were, because it was me and my team as well. Wow. Even our first mentorship launching event was not featured on any platform. In 2019, I remember it was in November or December.
Wow.
I started visibility in 2020. And it was because someone mentioned, how can you be running such a good research mentorship program during COVID and you don't even have a page? Then we created a page on LinkedIn.
You highlighted on that.
Yes.
Here.
We created a page on LinkedIn. Yes. And we started sharing now what we are teaching in our mentorship program on a page for the mentorship program. But I was the one who was running most of the trainings. I think I was running all of them when we started. But then I learned in the process that it was attracting attention. And then I started catching up with my own page as well, my personal page. But fast forward to today, oh my gosh, the impact is massive. I just give a few examples. Even many of the high-level assignments that I have served, such as strategic planning. Many people knew I was doing that through posting because I even invested in a media team, asked to record what I was doing. But one of the biggest impact that I'm really proud of, or I also believe happened because of visibility, is having the opportunity to even sit on a global board. 5, 6 years ago, I would have never thought me, Catherine, would be sitting on a global level board. I even never thought of sitting in a board as a board member in the country.
Really?
Of course, you don't think of yourself that way.
Wow.
So for me, it was a leap. When I was approached by someone that my name was recommended, then I was like, visibility is very powerful, because I believe there's so many people who perhaps were more qualified than myself. And yes, there are. But it's because people see what I'm doing. I'm communicating, I'm sharing my professional journey, who I'm engaging with, and people see, and then your name is remembered. The causes, many people attend my causes because I post testimonials. This book, I requested for your feedback as well, which you promised to send, but it is actions like those that makes a difference. But many people don't invest in visibility, and it's something I'm trying to also teach.
It's something you're trying to teach.
Yeah, because it has impacted me in a massive way in my career. And one last thing I want to say about visibility that many people don't understand, and something I learned in one of the books I read. Many people think, for example, to share content online, I need to spend the time, I need to think. It's true. However, you can just share your story, like just document. A good example is what you are doing right now. One of your staff could take a picture of us doing this, and you post it later. Today I conducted an interview with Dr. Catherine. You did not create any content. You just document your professional journey. You are in the field. You are traveling. You're in a conference. You just do that. Every day we are working. Every day we are doing something.
Yes.
And what it takes is just to take a selfie and share. Today I'm here, there. People knows.
Yes.
You don't need to sit and create content. So you stop. It's not about creating. It's about documenting.
And people will relate to your story, because there are so many people who are looking at you and they're like, oh, she did this, she did that. And they can, you can be at the back of their minds when they're referring to
Absolutely.
We have discussed so much about this book. But one thing that stands very clear in this book, among many others, is not compromising on your work. Because then everything else, go up these levels.
Yeah.
Would you mind going into details about that?
Excellence. I always tell people I teach in my coaching programs, master classes, that nothing else matters. Or nothing I'm teaching you will work if you're not excellent at what you do.
And excellence has no finish line. You always have to keep on improving.
Exactly. Okay. So you have to keep up, updating your skills. You have to, and sometimes it's not about skills. It's also about the experience that you give those you're working with. In fact, there's so many people who are highly skilled. They don't show up that way. They are excellent when it comes to their expertise, but when it comes to soft skills, how they interact, how they present themselves, and sometimes what they produce does not align with what they do, what they know, because they don't give that much attention to what they're doing. It's not because they don't know. It could be lack of attention to details on how something needs to be done, what the clients want, the methodology recommended. So it's really not only about skills. I wanted to make sure that is clear. In fact, many people, from my experience, most clients will go for someone who has less skills, less expertise, but someone who is a good person to work with, someone who will listen, who will pay attention, who will deliver on time, who is reliable. Because most of the time, many clients, they know what they want to do. Most of them, they just need additional help.
Yes.
And they need someone who can, give a hand and produce something.
I would like to ask you an offer.
Yes.
I like this podcast to have an impact on people.
Sure.
And I have requested you for a discount to some of those who are watching this podcast. But I would like to ask you another favor.
Okay.
We expect to have another conversation with someone who is talking about intentional leadership.
Right.
And you have spoken about intentional leadership. And I would like one of your impacts to be gifting her the book so that she can be able to spread more message about intentional leadership after learning from your book.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And thank you for that. I plan to give a couple of books to, people, like just what you have recommended, who can impact other people. So I'm glad you're part of that process as well.
Thank you so much.
I'm happy to do that.
I'm happy to be part of this movement.
There we go. So
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
To close, what is it that you would wish any young Catherine out there to learn from your journey outside this book?
Yeah, so I would have told myself everything will be okay.
Wow.
Everything will be okay. Because I think we spend a lot of time in our life worrying until when we are above perhaps 40. That's when we realize that actually everything will be okay. So if I went back to the time of struggles and I compare to where I am today, perhaps what I was supposed to tell myself is keep learning, pay attention, take lessons, do what matters. At the end of the day, everything will be okay.
To anyone who is listening, yes, my audience, you are listening there and you have heard from Dr. Catherine. She's saying everything is going to be okay. That's what she would have told her younger self. We are at different stages in our lives. We are going through several things, obstacles, and even winning as we are struggling at the same time. So don't worry. You might have not hit 40 yet to be as relaxed, but it will be okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Catherine.
Thank you for having me. It has been a pleasure.
Me too. Me too.
Thank you for having me.